Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to another edition of Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. Tonight we're going to talk about an album that's very special to me, from a very special musician in rock history. The name of the album is the Jimi Hendrix Experience Radio 1. And this deals strictly with some highlights from Jimi Hendrix's appearance on BBC Radio. Back in the 60s, it was illegal in Britain for radio stations to play popular music, and pirate radio ships appeared X amount of miles out, where into international waters where I don't think they could be touched, but they were broadcasting what the British government considered illegally, broadcasting the hits of the day back to the mainland, and the legendary work they did out there to bring music to the public. But if you wanted to have your music heard on the radio, British groups, they all did it. The Beatles, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones, the Moody Blues, the Small Faces, that they all, Led Zeppelin, they all did BBC radio shows. That was the only way to legally have their music broadcast, so they could promote a tour or an upcoming album. And this was a Rykodisc release back in 1988. I bought it pretty much the day it came out. I was eager for all Hendrix I could get my little hands on back then. And when I opened it up, I was surprised to see what kind of vinyl it was pressed on. And it was pressed on what they call Coke bottle vinyl. Not clear vinyl, but it's listed as Coke bottle. It's the only record I have that is like this. And the content is just fantastic. Just the original Jimi Hendrix Experience, Jimi Hendrix on guitar, Noel Redding on bass, and Mitch Mitchell on drums. Highly talented trio. Just one of the great trios, along with Cream, a super group. Jimmy was the only American in the group. They paired him up with these two Brits, and together they made music history. Jimi Hendrix had been noodling around with Wilson Pickett and Little Richard and the Isley Brothers. He did a lot of work. He did some side session work back in the early 60s after he got out of the Army. I don't know how many people know this, but he was a paratrooper in the United States Army. It's a matter of a little bit of debate whether he had a honorable or dishonorable discharge. There's all sorts of rumors pertaining to his time in the service. But when he got out, he hooked up with his old Army buddy, Billy Cox, who we met while stationed in the Army. And him and Billy Cox, Billy Cox was a bass player. They did some work after the original Experience broke up. He hooked back up with Billy on the band of Gypsies with Buddy Miles on drums, another fantastic trio that pretty much finished out Jimmy's career in late 69 and 1970. This was released again. BBC tracks were released again back, I believe, in 1998. I think it was by the Hendrix Estate, and it was a much more thorough representation of his time on the BBC. I bought that as well. That's a double CD, and that just is fantastic. This had 17 songs, I believe, on it. The hits of the day for Jimmy, Stone Free, and the second song on here is the Radio 1 theme, which they used as their lead-in for the Radio 1 broadcasts until the mid-'80s, I believe, and this was recorded in 1969. 68 or 69, I'd have to look at the liner notes. but they used it for almost 20 years. Day Tripper is a Beatles cover. Fantastic job on that. Killing Floor, a staple of Jimmy Live. Every live set up to a certain point, especially with the Experience, had a version of Killing Floor on it. He actually opened with Killing Floor at the Monterey Pop Festival when he made his American debut at the Monterey Pop Festival in June of 1967 with the original Experience. Catfish Blues features a very nice Mitch Mitchell drum solo, and Jimmy is just, he was really no better than when he was doing the blues. I mean, he was such a talented guitarist, absolutely revolutionized electric guitar. Driving South, that's an instrumental, showing off Jimmy's various talents. Wait Until Tomorrow, I believe that appeared on the studio version, I believe, was on Axis Bold as Love. Very entertaining song. Hear My Train A-Comin', another live staple of Jimmy. He did a memorable performance of that at Woodstock as well in August of '69. They do a very comical version of Hound Dog made popular by Elvis Presley. Another Jimmy original and a Jimmy classic, Fire, closes out side 2. Hoochie Coochie Man kicks off side 3. A Muddy Waters tune, I believe. Purple Haze up next. I mean, if there was ever a song that defined that spacey summer in 1967, it was Purple Haze. I mean, that came out of nowhere. You thought you were hearing something from outer space on the radio, I'm sure. I mean, he caught people's attention rather quickly. Spanish Castle Magic, another Jimmy classic. Hey Joe, an absolute stone cold Jimmy classic. And Foxy Lady closes out side 3. Oh no, actually, there's Burning of the Midnight Lamp closes out side 3. Burning of the Midnight Lamp ended up on Electric Ladyland, their third studio album. Jimmy's last with the original Experience. There is no side 4, even though it's a double album. Side 4 of the second record is blank. But what a release. Very special to me, this album. I bought this since it was a brand new release in '88. I'm going to say I probably bought it down at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. Probably bought it at the Strawberries there. And I remember coming home and opening it up and seeing that Coke bottle, and I was like, wowzer. Great album. I still listen to it to this day. Not the vinyl. I was fortunate enough to be able to get a turntable that had a USB pickup. So I was able to take literally every vinyl record that I had and turn it into an MP3. Just plug the MP3, I plugged the USB from the turntable right into the computer, and with some additional software, it turns it into an MP3, and you never have to play that record again. But I listened to it quite a bit. All right, that's about it for now. I hope you'll join me next week. Who knows what Paisano will dig out of his vinyl treasure box. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Bye, YouTube.